all I want to say is, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Wait, I don't have a dinosaur. This will have to do.
Hey, I was gonna say that.
I think you need to explain yourself.
Yeah, big time explanation.
The biggest.
Sooner rather than later, please.
For the past 2 years, we've been operating without a secure base. The mage hunters have known about the abandoned castle. The West Guards know about the abandoned castle. They were the ones who even told the mage hunters where to find us.
Which is why we need a Hearthstone in the first place. We got a splinter from the World Tree, but it's a lot faster to merge it with an existing Hearthstone rather than try and craft a new one.
You're trying to distract me, but I am not going to stand for it.
Did you believe I did it all out of a place of caring?
By sending me on a mad goose chase, you felt I apparently needed the extra exercise? Really? Try again.
All actions make sense to the user at the time of the action. Let's just hear Izzy out.
I was the friend that sent the letter to you all. Look, we're fighting a war on far too many fronts. Even after the West Guards destroyed this particular castle and forced us on the run, we're still trying to race them on either obtaining the assembled Doomsday device or locating the various pieces needed to craft the unassembled device. We haven't even finished securing the abandoned castle when the war with the mage hunters exploded.
That war had been brewing for quite some time. We just never did anything about it.
Still, we're being forced to go on the offensive, and I understand the strategy behind it, but our base of operations were not secure. And then we're trying to establish a new castle to build a more permanent home so that we're not squatting.
I understand that there is a lot going on. Life does not operate in a vacuum, though.
I get that. You also cannot deny all the mistakes we've made over the years. We heavily skewed the timeline. We've almost caused interdimensional wars between realms by leaving portals open and allowing creatures out of said portals.
Riftcraft, it is dangerous.
Nor do the citizens appreciate when you try to roast marshmallows in the fire realm or use the water realm as a never-ending fountain.
Wisp.
I know, not helping. Humor is my defense mechanism.
Oh, believe me, I understand.
Go on, Izzy.
Even right now, we're standing in the ruins of one of our giant mistakes.
Again, all valid points. However, we have also grown smarter over the years and more strategic. It still doesn't explain why you betrayed us.
Sometimes a huge demonstration is necessary in order to capture the Academy's attention or to prove a point. To keep operating from an unsecure base is a bad strategy. With multiple enemies, all it takes is one solid and brutal attack to our flank to wipe us out. No, I don't want to see what would happen if the West Guards got their hands on either Doomsday device. They do need to be brought to justice. Yes, it is our moral duty as magical creatures to defend those who cannot defend themselves against the mage hunters. But at the same time, we cannot compromise our own security by doing so.
Look, I appreciate you notifying us about the depleted Hearthstone. That's going to save us some crucial time in reestablishing our security. And yes, we do have a history of some faculty members using grand gestures to illustrate a particular point. East stealing Rental Site's house cup to prove that we need to have our own. Bunbury stealing the house gems to keep them out of Garnet's hands. Our allies commandeered things from us for everyone's own safety.
Well, yeah, but this, however, is not the same thing.
The West Guards attacking us? We could have been KO'd. That was beyond acceptable behavior.
I didn't have the West Guards attack us, though. Look, last year when we were raiding one of the Mage Hunter outposts, several of our students found clothing belonging to the West Guards. They used it to infiltrate the base when they impersonated the West Guards. Those items got left behind at the end of the term. So I hired an acting troupe to dress up. No one was supposed to be in any real danger.
Those were the real McCoy.
Yeah, that was definitely no prank.
It should have never been a prank to begin with.
Please know that was never my intention. I would have never put any of you in actual harm's way, and I'm so sorry about that. I've been doing my own sleuthing after that ambush. It turns out that during hard times, some people are willing to sell information to the highest bidder. It attracted the real deal.
Why didn't you come forward immediately?
Excellent question. Why didn't you? You were attacked just like the rest of us. I've heard of hiding in plain sight, but that was a bit ridiculous.
I didn't know what had happened. I was just as surprised as you, and I wanted all the facts.
So, who was the other helper that the detective was mentioning?
They were correct that I had called in some open-ended favors, but it wasn't one person. I had a helper in each of the slimes. This required some coordination.
Next time, perhaps bring it up in the staff town hall.
I will definitely do that in the future. This really got out of hand. That's the reason I ultimately bolted when you all realized that was me.
I understand how that can happen, and that things rarely, if ever, go as planned.
Even with pranks.
I feel better knowing you had not intended to have the actual Westguards attack us. Promise me that next time you will immediately come forward rather than letting things draw out the way they did.
No problem gets resolved by ignoring it.
It's a matter of trust. The only way we're going to get through all of this is if we trust each other through the good and the bad.
You're absolutely right. And String Bean, I definitely learned that problems only tend to grow. Life lesson there, I promise, and I'm sorry.
So, where's the Hearthstone?
Oh, I'll go get it. Folks, you might have a minor, major problem. I went to the hiding spot and its security measures had been destroyed. And I found this caught in the door, though.
That button's marked with the Westguard crest. It's one of the things that their scouts wear. I've seen them in my scouting missions.
Here, let me see. Looks genuine to me.
Well, best go retrieve the Hearthstone.
What's ours is ours, and what's theirs is ours.
I'll do some checking with networks and see if we can pinpoint where their encampment might be.
Good. I am not about to end our staff report to the Academy saying that the Westguards have the item we so vitally need.